Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. For all the sensors out there that monitor community guidelines, we always tell you that at the New Health Conversation, one thing we pride ourselves in is we only share medically proven information that's published. They're published peer-reviewed human trial studies that are completely open to the general public. So there's no chance that we're making a claim that is not substantiated and backed up and that people can look for themselves. We don't make outrageous claims. We don't have to. Everything we talk about is completely safe and we have nothing to sell. We're here to educate people, and that is the main goal that we have. So I hope that you'll understand that, so we never have a situation where you think somehow we're violating community guidelines by not supplying original medically backed proof, because that's all we do share. So let's see, Rough Creations joined and Connie Parker joined. Hello, hello. Are you all interested about her secret 21 pounds in 30 days? Backed by 40 research and top medical journals. This changes everything. So there's a difference between a research study and what's called a peer-reviewed human trial study. And this is backed by peer-reviewed human trial studies. So let's take a look now at her actual numbers. So she lost 21.2 pounds and 38.75 inches in just 30 days. In just 30 days. So if you can imagine how powerful that is, it's crazy. Because she was not allowed to exercise and she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. So who's curious about what she did? Because we're going to explain it to you exactly. I'll tell you what it's not. This is not a diet. It's not about counting calories, and there was no exercise even allowed. Okay, well, there goes everybody. How about that, everybody? How about 60 pounds in 3 months, 5 pounds a week with no exercise? Has anyone ever seen anything like that? I'd love for anybody to comment if you're curious about how she did that with no exercise, no dieting, no counting calories. It was invented by the top medical researchers, weight loss, nutrition, physiologists in the world. They did 40 years of research, 100 studies to come up with this, and they have no products. There is no product to buy here. You're going to buy food, and you're going to learn a new way of eating that the researchers put together. Yeah, I said that, a new way of eating. But look at the results. If you do the averages, she lost 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months and lost 60 pounds, and she's kept it off now for 8 or 9 years, because that's one of the big ads on this. It's sustainable. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach. Look at how much she changed in 90 days. I know it's hard to believe, but you got to understand that this protocol is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. No hyperketosis, nothing to do with that Charmsy. No, you're making an assumption. I haven't even explained what it is yet. So just bear with me. I'll explain it to you in just a couple of minutes. So if you did, let's say Charm MZ, based on any diet, whatever you want to talk about, I'm here, I'm open to talk about it. But how long would you give yourself to lose 20 pounds on any diet you've ever heard of? And again, with no exercise allowed. Pick any program you want. Because the main thing for all of you is to understand that diets are miserable failures. There's never been one in 40 years of research where people lost weight and kept it off. And 2 out of 3 people who go on diets end up gaining more weight than they lost. It's just really crazy. This is not a diet. Not if anything, it's a detox. And they had done blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis to prove that this was assisting the body in removing the chemicals that were stored inside of our fat cells. All the bloating you're looking at, all the swelling you see in her is because the body, to protect us as we breathe and drink eat these chemicals, it takes the chemical and stuffs it inside of our fat cells, and those fat cells expand. There's no such thing as burning fat on a diet or exercise. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and your fat cells can expand or contract. You all complain to us, not just about how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you actually have in your body. So again, let's come back and take a look at, well, let me show you just 2 more quick pictures. Look at Amy, everybody, 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at how much her body shrank. Well, that's the removal of those chemicals from the fat cells. And she literally shrank, as you would. Do you know most women in this lose a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise? Most men lose 2 to 4 inches off their waist in a week with no exercise. Now, I'm not making anything up, because you'd see it. There are 10 published of the biggest medical journals in the world. And the website, you can see it right above your head, the New Health Conversation. You can go and see all the medical proof for free, and we won't even contact you. But if you like what you see, look above, free coaching to ensure your success. It's free coaching. It's not a gimmick. You've never done anything like this, and people come on and they want to make comments about what they think it is. It's hyperketosis. No, it isn't. It's revolutionary. There's nothing like it on the planet. Again, how many of you, right, would to lose 20 pounds, let's say, I put it in the chat for me. I'd love for someone to comment. How long would you give yourself normally? Say you weren't on this podcast, right? And then the thing that I think is so amazing, this gentleman, you get older, it's hard to lose weight. Look at this. He's about 65 years old. He lost 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days with no exercise. But look at his blood work. His A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides from 8.4 to 6.4. And good, we're getting some taps, we're getting some love, they're getting some like. If you tap your screen, it'll create likes. Well, assuming you like the content. If you don't like the comment, don't tap on the screen. I don't need fake numbers. I want real people that are interested in literally changing. Okay, Charmazy, okay. But look at this, but look at him. Charmazy, look at that, 40 pounds, 52 and a half inches. Now look at this one. How about this lady? How about 200 pounds in a year? She's kept it off, and look at no loose skin and no surgery. Now what do you think, Charmazy? Look at that. What do you think about that? You think it's fake? You think we photoshopped it? We didn't. The reason that I show you this first woman is because that's the averages. The average on this is 5 pounds a week. That's nothing. Here's Andy, a younger guy, 45 pounds, 60 inches in a month. And even Christopher here, almost 44 pounds again in a month, about 11 pounds a week. But look at the blood work. Look at the changes in his blood work. Triglycerides, 169 to 58. LDL, bad cholesterol, 105 to 68. Blood pressure, 133 over 86, dropped to 126 over 73. Or you look at Curtis, who is a diabetic. Look at his A1C, went from 8.4 to 6.4. Still a little bit high, but compared to 8.4, whoa, it's getting in the range now, which is getting him into health. It's not a diet. Anybody doing this to think that the main reason to do is losing weight, you already missed the point. It's not a diet. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how it came about and what they did and why it's so revolutionary. But the other thing I want you to understand, Charmsy and everybody else, this is the only protocol in the world. It's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Let me tell you how significant it is. One of the journals, called the Obesity Journal, which is the #1 obesity journal in the world, they published these results in 2024. This research, this protocol, was the #1 downloaded weight loss program in the world, in the whole world. This is real. Who else, Charmsy? Show me anybody else on social media with one shred of medical evidence. They've got a lot of talking, they give you chatter, but where's their medical proof? They don't have any. And yet, you mostly, I'm not saying you, but everybody, 99.9% of people are doing what? Calories in, calories out. It doesn't work. It's nonsense. It's never worked. That's not even my opinion. Here's Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. They said, we've been taught that losing weight is a simple matter of math. Cut calories 3,500 and you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's exactly what these researchers did, which I'm going to explain to all of you here in a moment. Diets are miserable, miserable failures. Okay, let's look at the real numbers. 1995 to 2025, the obesity numbers in the world have doubled. We have more diets than ever. Go to Barnes & Noble. Look at how many diet titles there are. It doesn't work. It's nonsense. And people are counting calories? Can anybody give me the definition of a calorie? What are they doing? I promise I'm going to tell you in a moment, okay, Nini and Charmsy? But I want to set the stage. Understand. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Peter Greenlaw. I don't care about that. But I want you to know I've been a nutritional researcher for 23 years. I wrote 4 best-selling books, some of the biggest medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on public broadcasting and over 1,500 live lectures around the world in hospitals and universities and towns. They even flew me to China. For 22 of my 23 years in the medical world, you know what that meant? 0. Why? Because there were no published peer-reviewed human trial studies. Well, now, as these studies have started to take a long time. They cost a lot of money. This is irrefutable medical proof that everything I'm going to share with you right now is backed and published in the biggest medical journals in the world. who do what? They scrutinize the study. Their main job is to do what? Discredit what you're proving. That's why no drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed human trial study. So let's talk about what she did do, okay? So the people, I'm going to invite Lucy on, but the problem is, Lucy, unless you invite yourself, unless you accept the invitation, you're not going to get in. And every time, for whatever reason, the live creator declined the invite. So I'm inviting you in, and for some reason you're declining. So I don't know what to tell you. So let's talk about what the researchers did. So they had done 100 studies in 40 years and proved one thing, that calories in, calories out never work long term. They never found anybody losing weight, keeping it off, and 2/3 of people gained more weight than they lost on any of these screwy diets. Because here's the biggest problem, a calorie. Can anybody give me the medical definition of a calorie? You're all counting calories. Why? Because that's what you were told to do. The human body doesn't know what a calorie is. The body doesn't count calories. That's ridiculous. And you're hungry? You're never hungry for calories. But you're hungry for the one of the three things that keeps you alive: air, water, and what? Nutrition. So the researchers said, we're done. We're never going to do an analysis of any traditional diet ever again. We're going to create something new based on what didn't work. So here's what they did. They said everything depends on, we're going to find foods. We're going to give you less food, but find those foods with large amounts of nutrition. That was the theory. So they put a grocery list. You'd actually, Charmsy and everybody else, and Nini, you'd get a grocery list. You'd take to your grocery store. But only about 30% of what you spent last month on food, you'd spend this month, and you get a list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. No calorie amounts, only serving sizes. Very important. Because remember, what did they want to do? They wanted to make sure you had enough nutrition. See, what you're doing on all these diets, all of you, what you don't understand, when you lower the quantity of food you're consuming, what else are you lowering? Nutrition. When your brain figures out there's not enough nutrition to run all the organs in the body, because the organs don't run on calories. They run on nutrition. That's their fuel. So now the brain senses there's not enough fuel. It freaks out, goes in starvation mode, stops you from burning the fuel inside your fat cell, and turns to your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. That's why you gain all the weight back. But you know what else it does to you when you lose lean muscle? Slows down your own immune system. So you on all these diets are making yourselves unhealthy. The bigger the number on the scale, the worse off you are. Because up to 40% of it's lean muscle mass. So you keep losing lean muscle, lean muscle, lean muscle. And then you wonder why you plateau and you gain all the weight back or more. That's why. So the research said, no, we're going to create these food groups that are going to combat that. So 30% of what you would eat, you'd get from the grocery store. Now here's the key to it. Here's what made it work. The other 70%, let me clarify something. There's no products here. There's nothing to buy. There's no magic elixir or pill. No, it's food. And the researchers, they have no product. They don't sell anything. We don't sell anything to you. 30%, you got a grocery list, you're going to shop at the grocery store. The other 70%, though, came from other researchers who spent 20 years going around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrients, but very small quantities of food. There's no organic food in North America that has those levels of nutrients, or some of the nutrients, like in Mongolia and Tibet, don't even exist in North America. They do things like lower your stress levels and lower inflammation. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So now they had the foods. Guess what they then did next? They invented a new way of eating, never done before, called protein pacing. It was so dramatic, the U.S. Patent Office gave them a registered trademark on this new way of eating. So what did they do? 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world, which the researchers have called the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint, which is the only thing your body cares about. So breakfast, the world's most perfect meal. Nothing from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list. Dinner from the grocery store list. And a fourth meal, the world's most perfect meal after dinner. 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, and this will spin all of you out of control. They did something. No food from the grocery store. None. Zero. Only these exotic nutrients and foods from around the world. But this time they had her eating 8 times a day. The diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. You heard me. There were people who weighed 300 pounds. They weren't hungry because you've never been hungry for calories. You've never been. It had nothing to do with the food. It had only to do with the nutrition. And if you don't give your body enough nutrition, that's where your hunger comes from, not from lack of calories. Am I making sense? I understand this is probably turning your world upside down based on what you've been told. But listen, everything we've been told about diet, exercise, nutrition is blown up. It's done. It's over. It doesn't work. When 4 years have said 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese in 4 years in the United States. We have 2.5 billion people worldwide overweight, and 1 billion of those are clinically obese. And you know what the experts say about that, about obesity? It's the leading form of malnutrition in the world. What? Yeah, because they're eating foods that don't have any nutrition. And they are hungry and they eat and they eat and they eat. That's reality. That's what's going on. But the main reason to do this is not to lose weight. The main reason to do this, will shock all of you, it's to detox your body. The researchers did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and proved this was assisting removing chemicals from the body. See, here's what we're all doing. You all complain about not just how much fat, how much you weigh, but how much fat you have, because the body, to protect us, we're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals. Whether you know it or not, as they enter the body takes the chemical and stuffs it in your visceral fat. And those fat cells, to accommodate the toxin, expand. That's why you have all the fat. Look at her stomach, everybody, and her hips on day 1. Look at her stomach and hips on day 30. That's no exercise allowed. They wear Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. So the number one reason to do this is detoxification. Number 2, they measured, this has never been done before. They measured inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there. It came down 25% in 30 days. No diet's ever produced anything like that. Number 3, sustainability. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So think about that. I lost, what was that, 5.5 pounds a week for 7 straight weeks to lose 40. No, it's more than that, was it? 7 weeks, 40 pounds would be 8, 7, yeah, about six, a little under 6 pounds a week. But I've kept it off for 23 years. Now, so you notice weight loss, we haven't even gotten to that part yet. See, we're not even concerned about you losing weight. We know that's like a throw-in. But listen, also they measured with her, she lost no water weight. Instead of losing lean muscle mass, which is the case on every diet, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise allowed. They all did. Look at Julie, 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at that. Or my friend's daughter, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her body. That's the detox part of it. You think you're going to do that on a diet? Really? Well, go for it then. Do whatever diet you want. And then this is an older guy, about 65 years old, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days. A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124 in a month. And look at this. I mean, you can see 34 pounds, but look at his body. Look at his body with no exercise in 29 days. You think this is a diet? You think any diet you're on has ever done anything like that? Let me know. I'd love to see it. I've never seen it. No one's, these researchers, Carrie, these researchers, they never saw anything like this either. Never, ever, ever, ever. So Carrie, I'm curious, are you looking to lose weight? Because I'll give you an exact, I'm not exact, but I'll give you an estimate on how fast I think you could lose whatever weight you want to lose. So yes, you do want to lose weight. If you don't mind, Carrie, you don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot, but in order for me to help you, look, I'm a nutritional researcher, okay? We're giving you free information. We have no products to sell, but we're going to teach you how to do what she did. So how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Any of you can do that. I'm happy to do it with any of you. But how many of you are stunned that this is even possible? Stunned. I mean, how crazy is this? How many of you have ever, if any of you wanted to lose 21 pounds, how long would you give yourself? Oh, you're pretty tall. Wow, Carrie. Okay, so what do you think you should weigh, Carrie? Cindy, hello. Hello, John. Yeah, Carrie, you're really tall. 5'7", 250, 150, 5'7". Carrie, actually a little bit more. I'd probably want you around 140, but so here's what I'm saying. Let's just say 100 pounds. Now, I know it's going to blow your mind, Carrie. 100 pounds, let's see. Oh, I'd say by Thanksgiving, you'll be down 100 pounds, maybe more. Now, I'm going to explain to you how they did this, because I know you want to know and everybody else does. So, Carrie, let me tell you a couple things. Number one, it's not a diet. Number two, you're not going to be counting calories. Number three, You will be able to exercise if you want to. They did not let these people exercise because otherwise it would have messed up the studies. They would have said, well, they lost weight because it was diet and exercise. They wanted to make sure that this new way by itself, what would it do? So all the pictures that I've showed you so far are all from people who didn't exercise. So for example, my friend's daughter, the reason I'm optimistic about you is because she lost 60 pounds in 3 months. So I'm saying, because you're probably going to average 5 pounds a week, Carrie. Can you even wrap your head around that? 5 pounds a week. How excited would you be if you could lose? Also, Carrie, the first week, you'll lose a whole dress size. Yes, a whole dress size in a week. And that's, if you exercise, it could be even a little bit more than that. How much would that excite you? Hello, Christina. All right, so let's talk about how they did this, all right? Oh, well, let me show you one more, Christina, or also Cindy. Look at this. Carrie, look at this. 200 pounds in a year. Kept it off. Where's the loose skin, everybody? No surgery. I mean, Carrie, what do you think about that? Give me a comment. What do you think about that? It's not fake. That's real. That's the kind of stuff we're seeing. I just showed you a 65-year-old man, 10 pounds a week. And he didn't have to lose 100 pounds, but he probably lose 70. Look at his stomach, everybody. Now are you all intrigued? Are you all, yeah, I would love that, Carrie. Exactly. All right, so let's talk about how you, well, first of all, Carrie and everybody else, before I forget, do you see right above her name, Carrie? Give me a yes, or any of you, The New Health Conversation. That's the free medical website. You can go there. We won't contact you. The only thing is the medical proof. And if you like what you see, scroll down and notice free coaching to ensure your success. Guess how much the coaching is, everybody? 0. We got coached. We're going to coach you for free because you have no idea how to do this. All right. So first of all, the researchers who did it are the top weight loss nutrition. They're rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. They had done 100 studies over 40 years on human beings, what are called peer-reviewed human trial studies. Do you know in the 40 years, they never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off? I'm sure most of you have experienced that already, the yo-yo effect. So what they said is they, as the researchers, see, they were paid to analyze diets, from keto to paleo to Mediterranean to fasting. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, over 40 years, 100 studies, thousands of people. And they never found any of those diets to work long term. And the fallacy was that you're all counting calories. So Carrie or anybody else, if you know, put it in the chat for me. What's the medical definition of a calorie? Because you're all counting calories. No matter what diet you're on up until now, you're counting calories. Well, the problem with that is the human body has no idea what a calorie is. The human body doesn't count calories. If you're hungry, Carrie, you're not hungry for calories. There's only 3 things that keep us alive: air, water, and what? Nutrition. The researchers said that's the key. If anything's going to work, the researchers, they're going to find foods where we could give you less food, but the criteria, they had to contain more nutrition, even though by quantity you were getting less food. And they put a food list together for you. So whatever you spent last month at the grocery store, take 30% of that. That's all you're going to spend this month. And you're going to get a list. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they're going to give you serving sizes. To what? Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Serving sizes. You got it? But only 30% of what you're going to consume is going to come from organic foods in North America, let's say, or if you're in England, at your grocery store, just grocery store, right? Here's what made it work. These researchers who created this, who have no product, there's no product to buy here. This is all food. There's no product. They don't sell anything. We don't sell anything. So again, I said, you get a grocery list. 30% of what you spent last month on food, you're going to buy this month from your grocery store. The other 70% of the money you have left will just about pay for the most important part of this. Other researchers had spent 20 years going around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrients, but small quantities of food. Some of the nutrients come from these blue zones where people live to be 100 years old. I want to put that stuff in my body. How about you? So now they had the foods, right? 30% you're going to buy from your grocery store, and the other 70% you buy directly from these researchers. There's no middleman. So that's why it's so affordable. Most people feel they spend whatever their total food budget was last month. This pretty much covers it, or maybe a little bit more, but not like like some outrageous number. Okay, now once they had the food, they invented a new way of eating food. I know this sounds crazy. So 5 days a week, Carrie and everybody else, you're going to have 4. She had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world that the research, you know what they call them? The world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. That was breakfast, no food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. Everybody got that? So 5 days a week, you're going to be eating 4 times a day, 4 meals. 2 days a week, you're going to do something which will spin you all out of control, but trust me, it's all safe, called intermittent nutritional fasting, but not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, you and her would be eating 8 times a day. Yeah, diabetics on this, there were no insulin spikes. But let me tell you the number one thing, and the main reason to do this, believe it or not, the weight loss for us is like, that's a throw-in. We know that's going to happen. The number one reason to do this is detoxification. And the researchers proved that. They did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proving that this was helping the body remove the chemicals that we're storing inside of us. Maybe you don't believe it. Well, you all suffer, including me, from this medical syndrome. It's called TDOS. The T is for toxins stored in our fat cells, caused by the lack of nutrition that doesn't allow the body to get rid of them, causing us to be overweight and stressed. Now, if you're thin, there's a new term called normal weight obesity. So just because you're thin doesn't mean you're not storing chemicals in your fat cells. You are. It may not show up on the outside, but it shows up on the inside when they do MRIs, for example. So the one thing they proved, first and foremost, this was pulling chemicals out, and the fat cell where the chemical had been shrank. Look at her stomach, Carrie, on day 1. Look at it on day 30. That's with no exercise. A whole dress size in a week. In a month, she obviously lost 38 inches from her neck to her ankles. Look at that. You think do you think any diet's ever done that? So it's not just about you losing the weight. Okay, the next thing, so it detoxes you. The other thing it did, they measured inflammation, which everybody suffers from. It went down, never seen before. Inflammation went down 25% in 30 days. No diet you're on ever touched this. Number 3, it's sustainable. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off. All the people in these studies, that some of them started back in 2012, they've been able to keep the weight off. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So you got detoxification. You have lowering inflammation. The diabetics on this, the need for insulin came down 41% in a month, and most of the diabetics that were on medication, their doctors monitor them, they had to cut their meds in half. It's all in this, but you got to understand, it's published in these medical journals. It's not an opinion on my part. I'm quoting from the medical journals. It's in the public domain. You all can see it. And we put it on the website so you all can go there. Now, what else did it do? Well, obviously the weight loss. But you got to understand the whole thing we're teaching you is how to detox your body and then also to keep it off. The last thing is maintenance. What's maintenance look like? Simple. This morning I had the world's most perfect meal for breakfast. I just had lunch and I'm going to have dinner tonight. And then I probably every 2 months I do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast, not to lose weight anymore, but just to continue to help my body get rid of the chemicals and keep me in the, I went from a 42 to a 34-inch waist in 18 days, 23 years ago. I lost 80 inches in my waist. I've kept it off for 23 years. Like I said, most women lose a whole dress size in a week. Carrie or anybody else, how excited would you be about that? I want to show all of you the website so you don't think I'm fooling you or trying to trick you. You type in Google, the new health conversation. I want you all to see that, the new health conversation. It's going to take you to the okay, there's the landing page. Click on there. There's the website. There's nothing to buy on that website. The only thing there is the medical proof. Like number 1 is an exclusive podcast with the number 1 weight loss researcher in the world. Number 3, there's the medical studies. You get to see them. We're not holding anything back on you. Now, if you like what you see, when you go, only you can control whether you contact us, because we're not going to contact you. You can see right here, it says in black right above the blue, free coaching. The coaching is 100% free because you've never done anything like this before. So we're teaching you, the whole goal is to get you to your goal and then teach you how to stay there for the rest of your life. Now, are there questions on that? Carrie or anybody else? It's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. That's what it's called, Gia. Does that make sense? And Gia, did you hear the whole explanation of what I was? But Gia, look at that. That's without any exercise. Gia, to lose 20 pounds, how long would you give yourself on any diet? Forget you're on this podcast today. If you just were, please, be honest with yourself. And all of us, we'd love to know. Any of you, give me your opinion. If you wanted to lose 20 pounds, how long would you give yourself? And what diet would you think you'd go on? Because when we got people like Harvard Medical School saying stop counting calories, and then listen to this. This is Medicare. A big study just came out. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. Our researchers at Medicare reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether any diet is an effective treatment for obesity. The researchers found that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. You're all counting calories. Why? Why would you think that's going to work? Your body has no idea what a calorie is. We've got to stop the madness. We can stop it today. We can stop it right now. But the majority of you are going to go back. You're going to do keto or paleo or count your macros or carnivore or whatever. None of them work long term. None of them. No, none work. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give, here's the updated news. So this is the Journal of the American, oops. I don't know why that happened. Hold on, everybody. Sorry. Are we okay here? Let me see. Whoops. I had an internet problem here. Bear with me, everybody. I'm going to fix it in a second. There we go. Sorry. So this is I'm going to show you about diets. Okay. This is the Journal of the American Medical Association, one of the biggest medical journals in the world. They did a 12-month study. The title was Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs. So they pretty much looked at all the diets out there. They looked at 48 unique randomized trials, 7,286 people. You know what? It didn't matter what the diet was. As a matter of fact, from the least amount of weight loss to the most amount of weight loss in a year, from diet to diet, it was 4 pounds. The most amount of weight on any diet people lost in a year was 16 pounds. That's a pound and 4 ounces. A pound and 4 ounces a month. How's that sound? Pretty good? I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Now, to give you even more evidence, this Hello Long Island here, 55165, goes 130, exercise daily. Yeah, Jilly Jane. Okay, look at her. She lost 20 pounds. That's no exercise, Jilly. No exercise. I'm still 160. Yeah, because again, did you get a chance, Jillianne? Did you come on later? Did you hear the explanation of what this is? Because it's not a diet. No one is allowed to exercise. Not that they're against exercise. But in this case, they eliminated exercise. Otherwise, you'd say, oh, they dieted and exercise. That's how they lost weight. This is not a diet. It has nothing to do with counting calories. Absolutely nothing. So, but I need to know if you heard the explanation. Missed it. Okay, don't go, Ugh. I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay? But I want to make sure Carrie and Gia and everybody else, did you get it? You understand, and this includes you, Jillianne, the website right above her head there in blue, the New Health Conversation. Okay, so let me explain to Jill. I go for blood work Thursday. Okay, Carrie, yes, good. Okay, so Jillianne, this was invented by the top weight loss, nutrition, physiologists in the world, rated the #1 people. They had done over 40 years, 100 studies, thousands of people on every diet you could name, diet and exercise. They never found a program where people lost weight and kept it off long term. So they invented this. Now, keep in mind, there's no product involved here, Julian. Nothing. These researchers, they have no product. They don't have a company. They're scientists. We don't sell you anything. What they determined was the reason that diets failed was that the whole idea of counting calories, which you probably have been on, is completely ludicrous. Why? Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It can't count calories. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. There's only 3 things that keep you alive: air, water, and what? Nutrition. So what they found was, yeah, I use MyFitnessPal, total nuts. It's all BS. Jillianne, I'm glad I love it. Great. I got an ally already, but let me finish for you, okay? Check A1C, cholesterol, and thyroid. Okay, well, let me show you the man. You talk about A1C, look at this. Well, he lost 40 pounds in a month, Jillianne, and 52 inches. But look at his A1C. Went from 8.4 to 6.4. That's in 30 days. Look at his bad triglycerides, 242 to 124. But I'll show you another one. Look at his cholesterol. When 120 dropped to 59 and 30. Oh, he lost 45 pounds. His A1C from 7.9 to 6.2. This is not a diet, Jillian. This is going to change everything. Look, I mean, you have to understand this is, and listen, here's what makes it so unique, Jillian. It's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. This isn't some scientific paper. This is not an opinion, because these researchers, they don't have any products. They're scientists. So what did they do? How in the world did they get her? So you're 165, right? How tall are you? How tall are you, Jillian? Just because I'm curious, right? Because then I'll tell you what I think your goal should be, right? 5'5". Okay, so I'm going to say, don't get mad at me, but I'd like to see you max 130. That's 35 pounds. With now keep laugh out loud. I'm athletic but fat. No, you're not really fat, okay? But you have to understand, look at, she lost 21 pounds in a month. So let's say I want you to lose about 30 pounds, maximum 6 to 8 weeks. As a matter of fact, it's so powerful. Let me tell you how much would this excite you. In the first 4 days, you'll lose 5 to 8 pounds just in the first 4 days. How much would that incentivize you? It's bad if I'm not comfortable in my own skin. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me tell you what they did. Everybody listen, please, carefully. So the researchers said, we're abandoning counting calories. So on this, Julianne, no counting calories, okay? What they did instead, they said the only thing that matters to your organs. The problem you're having, Jillian, and everybody else, and especially if you're exercising and dieting, you're asking your body, you've reduced the amount of food you have, you've reduced the amount of nutrition, and the brain thinks you're starving to death, immediately stops accessing the fuel in your fat cell, and turns to your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. That's why you can't lose any weight. Diets don't work for that reason. The researchers, so what was the solution? Can we find foods with large amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food? So that's exactly what they did, and they put a food list together that you would get, that she took, that I took, that everybody does. But here's the thing, only 30% of what you bought last month at the grocery store, you'd buy this month, but you're going to have a grocery list. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, based on the nutritional density of those foods. No calories, no calorie counting. So that's 30% of what you're going to eat. What about the other 70% of what you're going to spend? Those came from other researchers who've gone around the world for 20 years to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food. Some of the nutrients, Julianne, for example, come from these blue zones where people are living to be 100 years old. I kind of want to put that in my body. I don't know about you. So keep in mind, there's no products here. It's food from your grocery store and these exotic foods that come from around the world. Then they invented, because of the nutrition, a new way of eating. What? Yes. They actually got a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office on this, called protein pacing. So this is what you would do, what she did, what I did, what everybody's doing. 5 days a week, they let you have 4 meals a day. You start with these exotic foods from around the world, lunch from the grocery, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods from around the world. It's not optional. It's not 3 meals. It's not 2 meals. It's 4 meals spread out. Then 2 days a week, you do something, well, on those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world in order to pull this off, called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricting. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, you're going to eat 8 times a day. Yep, you're having something every hour and a half or 2 hours. Do you know diabetics in this? There were no insulin spike. People weighed 300-400 pounds. We're not hungry? Because, Jillian, you've never been hungry for anything other than nutrition. And all the diets you've been on are based on deprivation, and they ignore nutrition. That's why they don't work. That's why diet and exercise is not working for you. You're making it worse by exercise and being on a diet, and by lowering the amount of nutrition you have in your body. That's why you can't lose any weight. Does it make sense? But it doesn't. That's the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. They did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis on her and everybody. By the way, she lost no water weight, Jillian. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise. Look at her hips and stomach area, day 1, day 30. That's with no exercise. Imagine if you exercise. So the thing they proved through the blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, this is a detox. It is not a diet. They prove this is removing herbicides and pesticides and chemicals from the body inside the fat cell. That's why you have all the bloating that we have that people complain to us about. Because the body, as we ingest these chemicals, takes the chemical and stuffs it inside your visceral fat, and those fat cells expand or contract. Jillian, with all the if anybody tells you you're burning fat in the gym, run. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and the only way you lose fat is either liposuction or surgery. So let's get that off the table. So the first thing is this is a detox. Number two, inflammation. For the first time ever in history, they measured it. It came down 25% in 30 days. Number three, they're able to maintain. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. Everybody, some of these studies were started in 2012, 13 years ago. They've tracked the people, and almost all of them have been able to keep the weight off. Listen, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. The last thing on this is, I was going to explain to you, what is maintenance? Oh, how simple is it? This morning, every morning, I have the world's most perfect meal for breakfast, a lunch and a dinner, and then every couple months I do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fasting. Not because I need to lose weight anymore, because I want to keep detoxing my body. So Jillian, now do you understand? Oh my God, it's the worst thing you could ever do. The worst, Jillian. Oh my God, do we do anything about oh my God. Let me read you the medical proof on that, what a hoax it is. You've been absolutely hoaxed. This is the Journal of the American Medical Association, Jillian, to prove your point. They did a big study, 3 months. I'm reading from the study. Journal of the American Medical Association, new research found that overweight adults were assigned to routinely fast for 16 hours daily, the 16-8, which is what you're doing, over the course of 3 months, gained almost no benefit from it, lost an average of 2 to 3.5 pounds, and the weight they lost was lean muscle mass. You're right. It is a hoax. It's a total hoax. 16.8 total, and you're not losing any weight. You're proving my point. It's nothing but a nonsense. It's nothing but a low-calorie diet. These people telling you, oh, you can lose 20 pounds in a month and most of it's fat. I'm right here. The medical proof there's no fat loss. The loss of is lean muscle mass. This is crazy. Now do you understand, Jillian? Now do you understand? Yes, because yes, you gained weight on intermittent fasting because you slowed down your metabolism. Do you get that? Does that make sense? You understand it was never about the calories. These idiots giving you recipes. Really? Really? Jillian, you're proving my point. Oh, Jillian, I didn't even tell you the best part. Yep, you're agreeing with me. Listen to this. So remember, all of you, take your food budget for a month. 30% you're going to buy from the grocery store. The other 70% that you buy from these researchers around the world, listen to this, Jillian. That food you're buying, if it doesn't work in the first month, 100% money back guarantee. 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Is that amazing or what? Are you excited? Are you interested? Are you curious? And all of you, you can go to the website for free. Look at it there. You type in the new health conversation. It's a free medical website to go to. We're the only ones with medical proof. Look at it, there it is. There's the link. Click on. There's the website. There's nothing to buy, only the medical proof, including number one, exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. There are the medical studies. Everything is there for you to see for free. And we're not going to, if you go to the website, Jillian, we're not going to contact you. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll down and get look, the coaching's free. Right there, free coaching. Because Jillian, they're going to give you the grocery list. You take to the grocery store. They're going to show you how to buy directly from those. And then they're going to teach you how to do this. They even give all of you, this is what the researchers developed for the patients. It's called the Blueprint for Success. Each one of these yellows are daily videos from the world's top weight loss researchers in the world telling you this is safe and why they will never recommend any form of traditional diet to you ever again. You get all this for free, along with the coaches are free. We got coached. And Jillian, if I'm honest, one of our biggest challenges, do we have enough coaches? Thank God what's been happening, but we got medical doctors and RNs and PAs, and they're coming on having such amazing results, and then their sister, their cousin, and they're helping us coach people. Because the coaching is really, really important. But they're all trained. Don't worry, you're not going to get some rookie. We don't let them just do it, okay? But again, Jillian, does this make sense? Oh, weight loss shots. Does it work? But I'd rather do yours safely. Yeah, MSC, okay? Boy, we're getting some wonderful interaction. But Jillian, I don't want to, do you understand, Jillian, to go to the new health conversation, look at the medical proof, and then get a coach, okay? But let me address that for Jillian and everybody else. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm not against the shots, everybody. They're helping diabetics. They're helping people morbidly obese. But what's the real results? What are the real results? You all can look it up. It's in the public domain, meaning I'm not making a claim. I'm reading from the medical study. The New England Journal of Medicine, a 68-week study, everyone. That's a year and 4 months. You got that? This was on once weekly semaglutide. That's one of the shots for losing weight. There's Ozempic, there's a whole bunch of them now, right? But semaglutide was one of the first ones, right? So this is 68 weeks. The weight loss after 68 weeks, I'm reading from the study, was 32 pounds, and 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass. So MSC, what do you think? She lost 21 pounds in a month. But again, this older gentleman, all of you, look at this, 40 pounds in a month, 52 inches, and look at the improvement in his medical numbers. I know it seems crazy. No. The celebrities are doing the shots. They're all doing shots. None of them are doing this protocol. Not that I'm aware of anyway. I mean, I don't know everybody, but I'm pretty sure no. The celebrities are doing the shots. But the problem is, I just told you, 40% of what they're losing is lean muscle. You talk to someone coming off the shot, they're gaining as much as a half a pound a day. Jillian, a day. Tell me, Jillian, are you excited? Are you excited about this? Or at least the potential? And understand, we're not even going to contact if you go to the website. Because, Jillian, why would we have to do that? That's the medical proof. I don't want you to believe me, but do you believe? Listen, all of you, including MSC, this protocol called R2M is now published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, including the Obesity Journal, which is the top obesity journal in the world, right? The study was published, it came out in late 2024. It's the most downloaded study in the world. This is going to change the world. You get a chance to do that. Or you can hang on to this old dogma, calories in, calories out, which doesn't work. Doesn't work. So Jillian, you are excited. Good. And MSC, so MSC, what do you think about what I just shared with you? Is that just crazy? You bet. And MSC, do you understand you can go and see everything for free at the New Health Conversation and get a coach if you want to get more questions answered? Give me a yes that you understand, and you can see the website, the New Health Conversation. All of you, it's free to go there. We won't contact you. Oh, good. Yes. Okay. All right. But Jillian, I mean, you have to understand, you're the typical, this is what we're seeing. Yeah, people are losing weight, whether it's a shot, but they're all gaining it all back and more. And we've only got 136 likes. Can we get some more taps on that screen? I know we got more and more people coming on all the time. Let's look at some more people, though, everybody. I want you to look at the medical results. Yeah, the weight loss is amazing, 43 pounds. But look at his triglycerides, 169 to 58. Bad cholesterol, 105 to 68. Blood pressure, 133 over 86 to 126 over 73. That's in 29 days, 43 pounds. And even this gentleman, look at that, 34 pounds and 26. But look at how much smaller he is. Now, you can think we photoshopped it, but then you're going to cheat yourself. If you think we're lying to you or making things up, you're on the wrong podcast. I'm serious. We, of all people, we're honest saying, look, we're the researcher of the research. We're bringing you what? The medical proof. Published in real medical journals, not somebody writing on a whiteboard or giving you, it's a scientific paper, they're giving you their opinion. That doesn't matter. That means zero. I mean, all the big, let me read one other, and you all can look this up if you want. Tracy, T-R-A-C-I, Mann, M-A-N-N. She's considered one of the top weight loss researchers in the world at the UCLA and also at the University of Minnesota. Here's a research they published. It was called A Landmark Meta-Analysis by Tracy Mann and her colleagues, published in American Psychologist, reviewed 31 long-term studies on calorie-restricted diets and exposed the harsh truth. What was the harsh truth? The analysis concluded that dieting itself predicts future weight gain. Not weight loss, weight gain. These are the world experts telling you, and we're not listening. We're following these nice influencers, the doctors and chiropractors, and I'm a health coach. Really? How many books have you written? How many times you appear on PBS? Did you do 1,500 lectures around the world in hospitals and universities and towns? I don't think so. But I'm going to tell you, yeah, I'm this academic person, right? But for 22 of my 23 years in the medical world, despite results like that, meant zero. Zero. Why? Because they only rely in the medical world. You need to be published in these peer-reviewed human trial, these medical studies. Because you know what the job of like the obesity journal is? To discredit what you're claiming. How come? Please tell me anyone. Show me any person you're following that has one shred of medical evidence. I'll wait. Please tell me. Yes, yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're a diabetic, here's what would happen, especially if you're a type 2. Um, I can tell you this, that this gentleman, look at his diabetes. So can you see that there? His A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. I can tell you honestly that he was on medication. At the end of just the first month, they cut his meds by 50%. 50, his doctors did. So the goal would be depending on how long you've been on meds and if you're, because the other thing that you should be aware of, MSC, in a month, the need for insulin in him and everybody else came down by 41%. That's one of the reasons they had to cut the medication. Otherwise, he's over-medicated because his need for insulin went down that much. Now, granted, the 40 pounds obviously helped a heck of a lot. MSC, there's no equivalent to this on the planet. Yeah, they drink their calories. That's exactly right. So again, Jillian, 87. I mean, Jillian, here's what I would tell you. We have this joke. We always say, just give us 4 days. You know why? Because typically you'll lose as much weight in the first 4 days as 6 to 8 weeks of any diet you've ever been on. How much would that excite you? And imagine dropping a whole dress size in a week with no exercise. What would that do for you? How much would that explain? I mean, how much would that motivate you or any of you? So who else would like to ask me a question? So Jillian, do you feel comfortable that you can go to the website now and see the medical proof? So all of you, it's right there in blue, the new health conference. It's a free medical website to go to. Let me show everybody again. Go to Google, type in the new, if you want to, the new, that rhymed actually, the new health conversation. It'll take you to the link, click on the link, and it'll take you right to the medical study. There it is, the website. We won't, if you go there, we're not going to contact you. Please be clear. You get to see all the medical proof, and then if you like what you see, scroll down, then you get a coach. I see these people charging for an app. What? And what are they telling you in the app? Recipes. What? There's no medical proof behind that. It's all, and they're charging you for coaching? Really? Really? Our coaching's free. We got coached. I mean, oh, good. I sent myself the link. Great. Wonderful. So, wow. Well, the other thing, the coaches will work with you on that, Jillian. I'm going to tell you right away, you're not going to need to exercise anywhere near as much. As a matter of fact, it would actually be I mean, Jillian, it's silly. I mean, if you can, I mean, seriously, on the 5th morning, we have to warn people. They think their scales are broken because you're not losing anything. But typically, Jillian, in a week, what would you expect? I live, breathe, exercise, and diet every single day, and I'm still not scanning where I want to be. Well, get ready. Wow. No. We want to avoid that. But what do you think about her? Jillian, that's with no exercise. Look at her stomach. Would you be happy with that transformation? I don't know anything about you, but from what you're telling me, you're not happy with, you were telling me you're in good shape, but you use the word. I don't use that word. You're overweight. Let's just say that. I'm very politically correct. But look, all of you, I mean, I'm going to share something with you right now. Why am I so? I think so. I think I'm actually in better shape than the one on the right, but I'm still a size 10. Yeah. But she's not, but understand, Jillian, she didn't exercise. No exercise at all. That's what you need to take into account. No, you shouldn't be 165. Heck no. I mean, how much would it mean to you if you get down to 130? What would you think? And by the way, 30, oh my gosh, easily by mid-September. Maybe the 3rd week in September. How much would that excite you? What about if you have an AM, diabetic, BP, cholesterol? It helps all. I just showed you. Look at the numbers on Christopher. Look at his triglycerides. Look at his bad cholesterol. Look at his blood pressure. Or you can look at Andy. Look at his LDL went from 120 to 59 in 30 days. But Curtis, again, the diabetic, 8.4 to 6.4 in 30. But look at his triglycerides, 242 to 124. MSC, have you ever seen anything like that? More beach visits. No more hiding, trying sweatshirts around my waist to hide. Jillian, I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. It's just you don't have the right approach. Nobody does. Don't feel alone. Listen, Jillian, my own mother was a lot bigger. My mom was morbidly obese. You're not anything like my mom. And 24 years ago, my mom called me up one day and she said, you know, Peter, I have a really big wish in my life. I said, Mom, what's that? She said, I would give anything if I could spend one day thin. I said, wow, Mom, that's really cool. 6 months later, at 62 years of age, massive heart attack and stroke. Jillian, my mom, I believe she dieted herself to death. Do you know what she would have? I can't even imagine if she could have gone on this and lost she probably would have lost, 10, 12 pounds in the first 4 days. I mean, she would have been out of her mind. I miss my mom terribly, but one of the things that motivates me so much for all of you is I've got this knowledge now, and I didn't create this, but we're making it available to the world. That's what the whole point behind the website is. That's why we coach you for free. We got coached. And we've got medical doctors and chiropractors and RNs and physicians assistants, and I mean, people have joined us to help everybody else. See, it's a movement. It's called the New Health Conversation. That's the movement. That's the website. Now, that's not what they did. They did something called R2M, Race to Maintenance. But we're sort of like, oh, thank you, Jill. And that's very nice of you to say that. I miss her a lot. She was a wonderful. I mean, I went through fat shaming. I saw all that kind of stuff. So again, I know in my heart that we're making such a difference and we're helping so many people around the world because this podcast is going all over the world. Right now, it's I'm sure we're going to probably have people here pretty soon in Australia and New Zealand because it's around 7:30 in the morning there, would be tomorrow. So that would be Wednesday. But Jillian, be honest with me, or MSC or any of you. Have you seen anybody on social media that's presenting medical evidence for all of you? You get a free website, you get to see everything, and then if you like what you see, you get free coaching. Has anyone seen this? I mean, let me know. I'm serious. And keep tapping on that screen. We only have 137 likes. I'm sure we can do better than that. So Jillian, what do you think? An MSC, tell me what you think about this. It's important. This is free. We're doing a public service, I believe, to the world. That website, they don't have to be on my podcast to go to the web. Anybody can go there. It's free to go there. The only thing there is the medical proof. There's nothing to buy. Nothing, zero, nothing to buy. And you get free coaching. And 70% of what you buy comes with a 100% money back guarantee. What are you missing here? What am I missing? Why would you at least go check out the medical proof? That's it, everybody. We're at 200. Come on, everybody keep. Sour soup bitters laugh out loud. No. Oh, are you from... No, wait a minute. Are you from the UK or something? I'm just curious. Are you? Where are you from, Jillian? I'm just... Oh, Long Island, New York. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I lived in Manhattan when I first got out of school a long time ago. I worked on Wall Street, and obviously a long way from what I'm doing now, but yeah, so but the bitters, that's really funny. But oh cool. Yeah. But do you again, Jillian, if you don't mind answering, I want to know, have you seen anybody on social media that's giving, this is a medical podcast for free. Is there anyone else you're seeing that's doing that other than just giving you opinions, writing on whiteboards, and they don't have a shred of medical evidence, including medical doctors, chiropractors, dietitians, nutritionists across the board? Have you seen anybody do it? And let me ask you, be honest with me. Does it make a difference to you that you have the assurance it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, A, that it's safe, and B, that it's real? Does that help you with that in your own mindset to want to go to the website and then potentially get a free coach and find out about it? The coaches are not there to sell you. No, they don't do that. They're there to make you aware of what's available. The same with you, MSC. Same with any of you. Yeah, yes, of course. Well, at least you're being very honest. I really appreciate it. Come on, everybody. We're stuck at 334 likes, and I've been on for almost an hour. I've been on for 59 minutes and 40 seconds. So Cindy is that Blanca? I think that's Blanca Felix. And Cindy, I see all of you. There go some hearts. Good, everybody. Let's get some hearts going. That's my adrenaline. When you like the content, it makes me feel good that what I'm doing is really beneficial to all of you. We're sharing medical proof. We're sharing knowledge. We're not giving you opinions. If you want opinions, there's plenty of other people on social media right now you could go to, and they'll give you all this horse manure about these diets. They don't have one shred of medical evidence. None. Zero. Zero. Go look. If you don't believe me, Jillian just said she's never seen anybody with medical proof. MSC. I'm going to the site. Thank you. Good, MSC. Look, all of you in this, new people coming on and know all the time. Any of the new people, are you curious about how did she lose 21 pounds in a month with no exercise? And she kept it off for 8 years, and she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. How's that happen? Or Julie over here. Look at this, everyone. 35 pounds in 37 days. 35 pounds in 37 days. No exercise, no calorie counting. And my friend's daughter, 60 pounds in 3 months. Jillian, I think you saw it, but is that just, do you think it's the same woman, Jillian? And you know now that I'm not lying, so it's the same woman, but is that crazy? All of you look at her face, look at her arms, look at her body. Yeah, they look awesome. Jillian, you don't understand, this could change the whole rest of your life. If you're really committed, Jillian, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or being sick and tired of having the weight that you can't lose no matter what you try. Because this is not a diet, number one, all of you. This is not a diet. It's a detox with a side benefit, this tremendous, safe, sustainable weight loss. The reason you have all that puffiness in your bodies is because your body's storing chemicals in your fat cells. This is proven through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis to remove the chemicals and the fat cells shrink, just like they did on her, just like they did. Look at this guy, 65 years old. Look at his stomach. He lost almost 41 pounds in a month and 52 inches in 30 days. And look at his A1C, 8.4 to 6.4, 242 to 1. Now, Jillian and everybody else, I want to show you what happens if someone works out. So this is a young man who's a surfer who lives in Costa Rica, works out 7 days a week. Went on the protocol, obviously not to lose weight. But wait till you see this. Look at day 1. Pretty darn good shape on day 1. Then when it says day 5, that's 4 days in. That's the morning of day 5. And then look at day 12, 11 days later. Look at that. I had a fitness trainer the other day say, well, you changed the lighting. What? How? What? But again, Jillian or MSC or any of you, what do you think about that in 11 days? 11 days. Now, everybody, you can think it's photoshopped all day long, but there's a catch. I happen to know this individual. That individual is my youngest son. He's 43 years old, and that is a real transformation. And obviously, he goes to the gym and exercises and surfs. But he even said there's no way he was ever in that kind of shape before he did that. That's at 11 days. You guys think this, you men and women think this is a diet? It's not a diet. Look at that, everybody. Look at that. Right? Yeah. He's 43. But that's what's possible. Now, granted, he was already he didn't do this to lose weight, obviously, right? But it just shows you the kind of transformation. Or everyone, look at this. 200 pounds in a year, and she kept it off. No loose skin. What? Where's the loose skin, everybody? No surgery, no liposuction. Look at that. What do you think, everybody? Oh, they photoshopped that. The hell we did. We don't have to Photoshop anything. It's just so cool to be able to share this with the world and share this with all of you. We're helping change the world. We're not us. We didn't invent this. Our job is to make you aware, and then you decide. And we created a free website for you to go to and see all the medical proof, and then you get a free coach if you want. We won't contact you. If you go to that new health conversation, see it right above your head in blue, we're not going to contact you. But the new people coming on, I'd love for you to comment. What do you think about that picture? Is it fake? It's a year. 200 pounds. What do you think about that? I mean, it's so exciting. It's so exciting to be in this kind of a position for all of you. So I want to get to at least 1,000 before we're at an hour and 5 minutes and my voice is a little bit scratchy, but I can go a few more minutes. If any of the new people coming on that want to know more about this, I'm happy to run through it one at a time. Can anybody ask me before I end this podcast? And I'm going to try, so it's now 5:45 on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, right? I'll see if I can do another one. No, it's 5:45. No, sorry. It's 5:41. Yeah, so it's 5:45, right? So I'll try and maybe do another one in like 30, 40 minutes, okay? Because my voice, I can only go so much. I think it's my third live today, and they're all at least an hour or more. But again, I feel like the value that you've been able to garner from this is important to all of you. We're at 994. We're stuck. Come on, let's get to 1,000 before I sign off on this particular podcast. Can we get some more taps on the screen? I'm checking out the site now. Thank you for all this. No, thank you, Jillian. I look forward to, you get to choose. I'm not choosing for you, okay? You get to choose, right? So can we get a few more taps on the screen? We're stuck at 994 after an hour and 6 minutes. Do you enjoy the information? Are you learning something? Do you see that it's good? Can we just get a few more taps on the screen to get us to 1,000 likes? Come on, everybody. I know I got new people on here that just, maybe you like this picture better. 5 pounds a week, 21 pounds in a month, 38.75 inches. Does everybody see that? Come on, everybody. Let's just get anybody. Just tap on your screen to get to 1,000 likes. It just takes a few more taps and we'll get there. Yes, no, no. Nobody's tapping. You're tapped out. That's okay. Oh, there goes a few more. Oh, we hit 1,000. Thank you. See, it just took a couple of taps to get there. Wonderful, everybody. Thank you all very much for listening. It's now, like I said, it's almost 5:45 on the East Coast. I'll try and do another one in about 30 or 40 minutes. All right, everybody? Thank you all. Bye-bye.